Hello and welcome back to GeoGuessr, but in The Sims 3. Last episode we got through 5 worlds and I already put them down in the map. I made these little pins and they also represent how big the city is. So the one with the circle around is like for capital cities or very big cities. This is medium and this is for small and tiny worlds. And here I put them all down. So San Manolia, Storybrooke County, Salmon Woods, Bridgeport and Oahu. And the next one we're looking at is Pleasant Isle. I didn't even remember how beautiful this world is. It's this incredibly wooded island with these cliffs, a little beach without any palm trees. In the middle there is the town center, then here is an area for more expensive buildings, and I just want to zoom in to show you how beautiful this is. So these houses are just incredible. They give me a little bit more of an New England vibe. First, I did put in Wisconsin, but I think I will go more into New Hampshire or Maine. But yeah, if you look around, there's just trees surrounding everything. It's so cute. And I really love this modern cabin build here on the cliff. Just amazing. And this world in total has 49 lots, so it's more on the smaller side and just has these very thick woods all around. So I already zoomed into New England up here and I already see that there are a lot of woodsy areas here. So this are all just trees everywhere. And I already see here there are some islands, so maybe I will just get into here right away. More of these stone cliffs. And I already see a ton of woods in the background. To be honest, this is already looking very good. Little deer and dogs, so cute. So I think I will just stay in the area and look around a little bit. These beaches are more like totally made from stone instead of sand. But the overall feel is very similar to this world. And as this is also a very islandy part, even though I'm not really going from if the world is an island to I have to use an island for the real world place, as there are just so many islands I could use. A lot of places without pictures. Yeah, very woodsy. And I think, to be honest, I will just go for it. I do not want to spend so much time because... Oh, okay, there's also a sandy beach, so I'm okay with it, yes. I have so many that I have to look at that it will take me forever anyway. So if I'm just a little bit faster on each one, I will be done a lot faster and can actually use my map. So which state was I in? Okay, in Maine. Done. And the next world I'm going to look at is Mesa Grande. And here we are, Mesa Grande. I did already put it down as a Colorado-inspired world because of these very distinctive mountains in the back. Obviously, this could be also somewhere else in the world, but because of the very Americanized architecture in this world, Colorado would probably be the best fit. The view over these mountains is just amazing. There are not a lot of worlds that have these distinctive terrains in them, so I really like this one. And I probably should explain why I did only give it 2 out of 3 stars. As I told in the last episode, there are a lot of factors that play in, and probably in this world the details from the object that are around is not that high, even though I'm just realizing they even put down gutters. So maybe I kick it to a 3 out of 3 stars just because it looks really lovely. I do not care that much about buildings. Here are some of the other buildings. They are very basic, but that's not something that is especially bad. But as I said, it is giving a very Americanized style of architecture, so I obviously put it into North America. These views are just really incredible. I think I will give this a 3 out of 3 stars just because it's quite incredible to look over these mountains. I guess the only reason why I maybe gave it 1 star minus is because it is so big, so it's not that playable. Yeah, I guess this could be it, because if I look at it from above, it is quite big. But I do not think that it is a lot bigger than the EA world, so I just quickly will count all of the lots. Okay, I just counted and there are only 79 lots, so it isn't even that big. So I think I will give it a 3 out of 3 stars just because it is so nice. And I realized I already gave it some coordinates for testing out if this concept works, so we will just look at those. And there it is. I'm not even sure if this is still in Colorado. No, it's actually Utah, okay. But this is the place where I found the most similar looking rocks. So if I just put down my little street view guy. Oh, okay, it's not actually looking that much like it, but these in the back, I guess, could be what I'm searching for. I will just go a bit closer to the village, but okay, not really. Maybe I did misplace my coordinates, so I will go into these more reddish looking rocks, and I think that's more like it. These are the canyonlands, and yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. This looks very similar to what I have seen in this world. I will just remember this, but also want to look a little bit more into Colorado. But as it seems, Colorado is more of a woodsy state. Oh, always these cute dogs. And not so many of these red rocks that I've seen in Utah. I will not waste a lot of time and just go for these coordinates. It is not as green as what we see here in Mesa Grande. Like here, these areas are just really green, and I even see some palm trees. But as there is a bit more of a deserty area in Utah, I guess there could be growing some palm trees, even though I don't know about it. Those mountains in the back just look very similar to what I'm seeing here. I will also just shortly look into Arizona. Yeah, I guess it could also be Arizona, to be honest. But as my little pin is not that... Ooh, wow. Okay, but this is probably more of a fit for Strange Town. I think there's also a Strange Town in The Sims 3 with these very tall, slender rocks. But I do not think that I have that many Utah. Well, so I will just go for Utah with this place. If you have another suggestion, please leave it down in the comments. It would help me out a lot. And I will just copy this link. Oh, and I already have one in, so I will just leave it and just change out Colorado to Utah. I didn't even have any world based in Utah yet, so I had to create this tag. So nice to have. And there we already done with Mesa Grande. And the next world I'm going to look at is Hylewood. Hylewood loaded up very fast because, as you see, it is quite a small world. And I think this is also a quite popular world, even though there are none of the lots built up. I already have seen that there are a ton of save files available for this world, but maybe I will also do a project in this world and do my own save file for it. Because for these smaller worlds, it is perfect for a CC heavy save file, which is actually something I really want to do for all of the tiny worlds if I have the time. This save file also always looks like it is fall, I think. Even though it is summer, there are a lot of these trees with orange leaves. And even the textures look like there are a ton of leaves on the ground. It is incredibly detailed and just very beautiful. I really can just recommend you to get this world if you do not have the best PC to run The Sims. But for this world, I already put in Connecticut as a fitting state. So I will just have a look into Connecticut down here. I can't really go from any of the architecture, but this is also very woodsy looking, like all of New England, I guess. Yeah, this is really beautiful and also has like just the same vibes as Hylewood. Also this fall coverage here, and just has really similar vibes than I see in Hylewood. So I just have to find some coordinates I want to put Hylewood at. I think if I look at it, these streets are also just very similar to what we see here. It's just actually the same. So the creator of this world really did a good job to catch the essence of this New England vibe. I also love the details here with these little boats and also this cliff here with the bench where we have this great lookout into the sea. There's even some distant terrain the creator put out, so it doesn't look like there's endless water. Just really a great world. And also this little creek here is just done so fabulously with, if I just click on play, it looks like the water is actually slashing against those boulders. So the creator had to put in these effects manually, because normal Sims 3 water just doesn't work like that. Just incredible. I don't know, I can't say anything else. It's just beautiful world. And I think with New England, rather Connecticut, this is just the perfect fit. So I will use these coordinates with the exact same street texture and put it down. It is still Connecticut, so I do not have to change this. And then we get into Glaciar Isle. And here you can see Glaciar Isle. It has these big icy mountains. This is something I don't think you can see in the US, so that's why I put it into Greenland. Even though I have to admit the green spaces here in between the ice are very southern looking because of especially these blooming trees here in the back. So I was quite unsure where to put it, but because... Oh, okay, I didn't even realize there was even more to this world. There's even this little suburban lane down, and in the background you can see just this big icy mountain. Very cool. But yeah, there are a lot of flowers everywhere, which is something I wouldn't really expect to see in such an icy world. But because of these very snowy mountains, I decided to first look for a similar place in Google Maps in Greenland. I will get into my little cheat sheet here. So Greenland is mostly ice in the middle, and only the outside of the main country is really where there are the most of the villages and towns. So as it seems, there are probably the most inhabitable places. And I will just go in here because this looks mostly like what I've seen. Yeah, but as I expected, there are not really a lot of flowering plants in none of the states. Just looking through all of them. Ooh, okay, these are really some icy cliffs. So I will just get into Greenland. Okay, also seeing Google Maps that this is just mostly snow and ice here. And maybe this big island here. But there are not a lot of pictures available of these places. It also doesn't look like there are actually houses here. So I will go more into the mainland. Not that big of a mountain. Also, to be honest, the architecture in the Glaciar Isle world is also a bit misleading because it does not look very much like the architecture you would find in Greenland. It is giving a bit of a more Mediterranean style, or like a chalet in the Alpine mountains, but not much of Greenland. But I still do not really feel comfortable putting this world into Europe. Yeah, and also these things are not really helping much. Like these Egyptian ruins in the middle of this world is not helping me pinpoint this to any real place in the world. So maybe but even if I took a look into Alaska, there is no way that I would found these blooming trees anywhere. But I just couldn't skip this world because it is just so outstanding with these big snowy mountains, and especially the road work that is combining all of these different levels is just amazing. Like, it is not just one flat world, but everything is going up in these terraced ways. They even put in the work to put down all of these walls next to the roads, so it looks like it's safe to drive, so you can't really fall over the cliff. But yeah, these greener parts are just a bit misleading. This little park here in the corner is also just amazingly done. So really a cool world. But back into Google Maps, these places just look like they're a bit too small. There are actually some pictures here, but as you can see, a lot of these houses do have this very Greenland look to it, or just this Nordic look in general. But as I said, I will probably not find a real-life counterpart for this place. Up here, I don't think that there are a lot of places people live. And also these mountains are not as snowy as I expected it. Ooh, this is very beautiful. But maybe these are just pictures from summer? And for Alaska, the only real snowy parts I see here are on this coast. Ooh, this looks very cool. I've never seen this. But even the architecture in these areas looks kind of Nordic, to be honest. Maybe here at Anchorage. But it's not as snowy. And as this world is called Glaciar Isle, I want to go a bit more into a northern part in the world. Maybe even here. To be honest, I have no idea which country this is or to which country this belongs to. But even these places have this Nordic looking architecture. There is some Cyrillic. I just thought, to be honest, that this was a Sims 3 place just because of the lighting. But obviously this is a real place. Cute. But it seems like it's kind of a lost place, to be honest. But cool to look at. This place is very snowy at least. But there don't seem to be many houses. But I think I will go back into Greenland. This side of the country is also not that populated as it seems. There are not that many towns, and even if it says there is a town— oh, there is actually a town, okay. But the mountains in the back do not seem like they are as high as on the other side. And as Glaciar Isle has these distinctive high mountains in the back, I will just search for some very snowy mountains here and then put my pin down. So I think I will just go for this area here because I do have another world that is based in Greenland and it is more on this coast. So the Glaciar Isle world will be on the other coast. I will just save down the link and copy it here. And for the last world, I'm going to look at this video. It's Willapa Valley. So here we are in Willapa Valley. And as you can see, it also has a lot of trees and a very foresty area, but the forests are not as thick as we've seen in Pleasant Isle. But this is probably best for this world as it is massive. It has around 110 lots. So for PCs that can't really handle bigger worlds, this is probably not something you should play with, and I don't even know if I can really play in this. So it will be more of a vacation world for me. It has this really cute, very full center town here with this little road that goes into the water, a lot of houseboats, and this cute bar at the end of it. And it has a ton of parking spaces, which make the world a lot more realistic, like you see here. I really love that. And also in this area there are a lot of houses that aren't built on flat terrain, which is also something I really love about The Sims 3 and really like when people make use of it to just build on cliff sides or very uneven terrain to give the houses a bit more of character than just building on completely flat spaces. And this world even has this little farming area. Oh, I can't even find it. It's so big. Okay, here I found it, the little farming area, and there's also this little town center here. And this area with this dirt road leading to it. This is more like a very natural area to maybe do a camping trip to. And yeah, I just really like how this world looks, so that's why I put it into my list to use. And now for finding a place that looks like it. So I put it into Oregon because I didn't have really a lot of worlds in Oregon yet. But as I just put Bridgeport as like the Portland of The Sims 3, I maybe will look into more of the northern parts here, like this very mountainy area here in Montana. So this is a very... No, it's not a big town. There are just a lot of fields, but not that many photos. But it could be the right area to put Willapa Valley in. There is a big lake. Unfortunately, there are a lot of places that do not really have photos, but this one has great. Yes, I think this is really looking good. The architecture obviously is not that much a perfect fit, but from the mountains and the woodsy areas, it looks really similar to Willapa Valley. But I will take a look around in this area, but there are not that many places who have pictures. There's another lake, but not really a lot of buildings I could look at. Up here maybe? Yes. Ooh. Even more dogs, I just love it. These houses have more of a cabin vibe, which makes sense. I will have a look into the houses of Willapa Valley a little bit more. Like here, they are not really having this cabin texture on the outside, but very cute houses, I have to admit. Maybe in the farm area. How is this house looking if it's loaded? Like, it is made of wood up here, but still like shingled or paneled down here. So it probably could also be a good fit for New England. But I already have a lot of worlds I want to put into New England. So I also want to find some worlds that would be a good fit for the more northern parts of the US, like Montana. Or I could even put it into Canada, maybe? How do these houses look like? Very colorful, not really giving me any cabin vibes. So I will look a little bit. Maybe this area of Canada? Just have to find a place that actually has pictures. This is just the inside of a house. That doesn't help me much. But also this area is not really that mountainy as Willapa Valley. I'll just put my little Google Maps guy down here and look at some houses in this suburban area. And to be honest, this is looking a lot more like Willapa Valley. Not totally the same, obviously, but it has a similar look to it if it would load, like this house. And also, this place is right at a lake, so I think I will go with these coordinates for Willapa Valley. The other world I chose last time is down here, so I should not have any problems with putting my pin down here. So that's great. So I will just note it down as Canada. And that's actually it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you have any other suggestions for these worlds, you can always leave me a comment and tell me another place which they would fit better. And thanks a lot for watching my video, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye!